RE4AFAGRi, Renewables for African Agriculture, Integrating Modeling Excellence and Robust Business Models, is a project in the framework of the RE4AFRI program. RE4AFRI is long-term joint European Union, African Union Research and Innovation Partnership on renewable energy, co-financed by the European Union Horizon 2020 program. My name is Manfred Hafner of the company IIASA, and I am the project coordinator of RE4AFAGRi project. Why RE4AFAGRi? The sub-Saharan African agricultural sector presents major challenges. In Africa, about 80% of the agricultural production comes from smallholder farmers. Half of the population in sub-Saharan Africa depend directly or indirectly on agriculture, and most farmers practice rain-fed agriculture. More than 90% of the cropland is rain-fed. So rain-fed agriculture means a low agricultural productivity, no electricity, which also means lack of cold storage and crop processing, results in raw crops being sold to the wholesale market where the price is very low. And all of this implies poverty traps, inequality traps, as well as food insecurity. But solutions do exist, and opportunities for development are huge. And this is actually where our project RE4AFAGRi, we promote and we show how to do it, to move to a more sustainable irrigation and community-wide renewable electricity, to increase agricultural productivity and local crop processing, and finally, to use agriculture as a leverage for reduction of poverty and inequality in sub-Saharan Africa. How do we do that? Well, we started by identifying the core societal needs and deprivation dimensions of people. We then looked at different technologies, the most adapted technologies in order to alleviate the problems we are talking about. We also entered into discussion with plenty of stakeholders in sub-Saharan Africa in order to assess the needs, the tools, the best instruments, the best ways to use artificial irrigation, electrification, renewable energy electrification to the benefit of the agricultural sector. We developed a whole suite of modeling tools for the energy water development nexus, which I will present shortly. And we also developed business models for developers, for business developers, but also for policymakers, in order to allow the sub-Saharan African community to develop economically. The consortium, which the RE4AFAGRi consortium, consists of leading research and consulting institutions of both Europe and sub-Saharan Africa. And the team includes scientists, business experts, and policy researchers. But in addition of our core team, we have worked with a large number of external stakeholders and target users from African institutions and from international organizations, through focus groups, through workshops, through capacity building activities, in order to, on the one hand side, understand what the needs are and helping us to develop the best tools to solve the issues, and secondly, to to disseminate what we have done to the benefit of sub-Saharan African communities. So what is it, what we have developed? On the one hand side, on the left-hand side here, we have developed a RE4AFAGRi platform of modeling tools. It goes from water crop to MLET to onset to nest, where we have integrated these different models to identify the water needs and constraints for different type of crop production, agricultural crop production. Then the electricity needs for irrigating those crops. The best electricity supply with renewable energy, depending on where you are in sub-Saharan Africa. And finally, an integrated agricultural energy climate framework in order to allow policymakers to better integrate our work in their policy making. But in addition to this, we have tried to develop a techno-economic model to be used by the business community in order to understand, depending on the crops they are using, depending on what how they want to develop their business, to run through different simulations in order to maximize their revenues. All of these tools, they are open access, which means they are free to use and they have been developed to the full benefit of the sub-Saharan African communities. These are the countries on which we have worked, mainly Zambia, Rwanda, Nigeria, Kenya, and Zimbabwe, but we are expanding our models to other countries as well. This is the dashboard I was talking about. So you have all the different models which are all integrated, which you can access in order to better understand, depending on where you are, what is the best crop for your location, what is the best, what is the irrigation need, how much electricity do you need for irrigation and for crop processing, what is the best way to supply the electricity, and so on. We have done plenty of dissemination activities, scientific dissemination activities in journals, but we have also done a lot of training. This is an example of a capacity building 1 week workshop in Addis Ababa, where we have brought into Addis Ababa about 30 people from all over sub-Saharan Africa to teach them the use of our models and how our models work. We have also here in Kigali organized workshops to allow the business community from business developers from all over sub-Saharan Africa through game simulations to understand what is the best solution for them in their particular country, in their particular framework, to develop this kind of activities. And we have produced a certain amount, several online tutorials in order for you to learn and to apply what we have done and what we have produced for you. This is mainly in the form of YouTube videos. There are different types of videos we have produced. Some of them are for final users, which are renewable energy and irrigation developers, the business community, but also the farmer associations, policymakers. These are tutorials on how to use our platforms of models and business model simulations to help you, the communities, to reap for yourself the benefits of our work. But we have also developed tutorials for the sub-Saharan African model developers in order to allow the researchers to start from our work and to continue developing and adapting our modeling suite to sub-Saharan African countries to further adapt it to the new realities and to other countries which have not yet been included. Fundamentally, we have 7 very short introductory and overview videos about all the activities. The first one here is the present one, the one I'm giving. There are 6 others, which are very short overall videos to understand what we do. Then we have detailed tutorial videos for the users, for the developers, the farm associations, the policymakers. And here we have 2 different tutorials. They last about an hour. Each of them, one explaining the modeling platform and the other one explaining the business models. So the idea here is always how can you make the best use of our work for your daily operations. And then finally, we have in-depth tutorial videos also for the research community in sub-Saharan Africa, for the model developers, in order to allow them not only to understand what we have done, how we have worked, all of our models are open source, but also to continue our work by themselves. I do thank you very much. I do encourage all of you to watch all the other videos and to learn and then to implement the work we have done, which we have done for you. Thank you so much. All the best to Africa.